Hi everybody, my name is Michael or Kiratze Online. I'm here with StreamerSquare doing a product review. Today we are going to be checking out the GoXLR, and I am super excited to show you guys this one. Just a heads up, this is going to be a little bit of a quick review, just going over sort of the big pros and cons that I have with the GoXLR, but I will be uploading, it's already been recorded, I will be uploading a full-fledged in-depth rundown of every single feature and my overall thoughts and stuff like that, more in depth. If you are interested in more of those types of videos, it is quite a long video, but I will have timestamps on that video, sectioning it off so you can watch it at your own leisure, or if you're only interested in a certain part of the GoXLR, I will have timestamps in that video for you because the video is quite long. So this video is going to be a very quick rundown of the GoXLR. And I do need to preface this video by saying the GoXLR was provided by TC Helicon. Big thank you to TC Helicon for providing the product, but don't worry, in no shape or form is it shaping this review. If just from this review, or if you want to go check out the longer review and you're interested in actually purchasing the GoXLR, it'll run you about $400 US on Amazon as well as other select retailers, and it does sell worldwide, so just make sure to shop around, and I'm sure you can find one that's not sold out. Additionally, all audio in this video is recorded with the GoXLR, and attached to it I have a Audio-Technica AT2035 XLR microphone. I don't have any EQ applied, however I do have a compression applied a little bit, as well as a slight de-esser, and of course a noise gate. Alright, so let's go over the pros, and of course we'll go over the cons a little bit later, but pros, right off the bat, it's extremely accessible. I really like how they made it easy for new people to get into it, especially with how confusing audio can be, and for those especially who aren't really into XLR setups, this may be their first XLR setup. TC Helicon has done a great job in making it simple, and while there's a lot of features, they essentially let you jump into it right away, and you can sort of go more in depth at your own leisure. But in terms of just getting the whole thing set up and starting to stream right away, you pretty much only have to select which type of microphone you have, and then you're just off to the races. On top of the great sounding audio, you also get a bunch of different features, ranging from just being able to apply different voice effects to your voice while you're in live stream or recording, or even just creating samples on the spot to play back in future streams, or even putting pre-recorded audio samples into the GoXLR and playing them at your own will. And this not only goes for single PC setups, they've definitely had dual PC setups in mind. And when you actually do go to the online guide that you can download off TC Helicon's website, there is specifically instructions for people who may have dual stream setup or dual PC setups for streaming, as opposed to single PC setups for streaming. And that's probably my biggest pro about the GoXLR, is just the fact of how well they've made it accessible to people who may not really know much about audio. When I first got into audio, I really had to do a lot of research into making sure I had the proper mixer and, what microphone was best to use for it, and especially having to dive into the software. GoXLR, the software that it comes with as well, is extremely accessible. It's really easy to just sort of look through. There is quite a lot of features to the GoXLR. However, they've definitely done a great job in just easing people into it, since, especially when you're going through the software, you can just hover over certain aspects if you're unsure of what things mean. For example, compression, for people who may not have used that before in previous audio setups, you can just hover over it. It has a nice brief description of what it is, and it allows you to sort of dive in further at your own leisure. And speaking of the software, it has a lot to go into it. We'll, of course, be doing a whole separate video just on the software and how you can make the most out of it. But just going through it, they've let you set up your microphone really easily just by selecting whether you have a dynamic condenser or a 3.5 millimeter, which is great, especially considering it has phantom power built in. So if you choose condenser microphone like I do, it'll automatically switch on the phantom power. And if you choose a dynamic microphone, it just shuts it off, which is really awesome. And I would say one of the most attractive features about the GoXLR for specifically streamers is just how easy it is to route your audio. And that's another big thing that a lot of people, especially who are newer to sort of audio programs and software and hardware, routing audio is a little bit of a confusing thing. We do have some guides on StreamerSquare.com specifically for that if you want to check those out. But GoXLR has done a great job of just making this easy and, no hassle at all, and just essentially clicking, check, and unchecking things wherever you want to route audio to. Speaking of features, there is a lot of them. Not only do you have complete control over your audio and your whole computer setup in terms of routing your audio, which is a huge benefit, you do have the voice effects and the sampler, which are sort of the main big features of the GoXLR. And this is one of those things where if you really want to put the time into it, you could have an incredible production in terms of audio just by using those two things. Not only do you have just sort of specific major voice features, you have a bunch of different profiles so you can switch between things on the fly really, really easily. So maybe you're a GTA role player who wants to have a bunch of different voices for a bunch of different characters. Or maybe you want to sort of create some live audio samples and make a song right on the spot. That's something that you can do with the GoXLR, and that's pretty incredible. You also get the benefit of some really basic audio filters such as noise gates, compression, you have a EQ, and you also have a de-esser. A lot of those, you don't need to use them, but things like compression can really help you with audio, especially for a lot of streamers out there who have clipping issues or things of that nature. And one of the big things I like about the GoXLR is the fact they have sort of a built-in limiter. So no matter how loud you get, it still cuts down a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to pump your gain too loud, but it still does a great job in making sure your audio doesn't clip or sort of blow out your viewers' ears. And the software is just great. While there is a lot of features and it can be quite overwhelming off the start, like I said, you can pretty much just plug and play with this thing, and you don't have to fiddle around with the other features if you don't want to, or you can at least fiddle around with them at your own leisure. The software is easily laid out where you can just skip to each section, or you can even click on the little virtual GoXLR to quickly jump to different parts of the GoXLR without having to actually click on the tabs, which is always nice as well. You also have a ton of customization ranging from just what's on the screens above the faders, from the colors to everything, so you can make sure that visually the GoXLR fits your stream setup. Now, in terms of things that I didn't like, let's go to the cons, albeit there aren't that many. First off, it would have been nice to have the GoXLR at a little bit more of an incline, or at least have something customizable so you could change how the incline works on it. Just because the GoXLR sitting on my desk is sort of near the back, and with the angle that I'm viewing the screens above the faders, it's a little bit tough with some of the color combinations to actually see what's on the screen. You have to be sort of at least leaning over it a little bit to see clearly. And in terms of the inputs and outputs on the back of the GoXLR, it would have been nice to have a 1/4-inch jack for headphones instead of a 3.5mm, but that's sort of more personal preference just because my headphones, the Sennheiser 598s, as well as other sort of, I wouldn't say super high-end, but higher end headphones are naturally 1/4-inch jacks. So luckily mine did come with an adapter, so it would have been a little bit unfortunate if I hadn't had that adapter. I would have had to go and buy a 1/4-inch to 3.5mm adapter. So that's just a minor thing, but that's of course due in part to my situation. You also won't get a ton of different inputs and outputs, of course. It does have the necessities to attach things to consoles, to other external devices, things of that nature, but it's not like this is your traditional mixers where you have a bunch of different connectors to be able to put in like a guitar plus 2 microphones, things like that. So you will need additional equipment on top of that, on top of the GoXLR, if you want to sort of have larger live production setups. And on the software side of things, in terms of things that I didn't really like, there wasn't really anything I didn't like about the software. But one thing that would have been nice is with the whole customization with the physical GoXLR, they didn't really carry that over to the software. And the software sort of has a just basic gray theme to it. There's nothing that really pops out. Everything sort of looks the same. So while there's a ton of customization to be able to make your lighting different on the physical GoXLR, there's nothing really in terms of customization for the software in terms of having different themes, different colors, being able to move different parts of the window around and resizing them. That would have been really nice. And, with how receptive they are to the community feedback, I really hope that's something that they put in, because I would actually personally really like that. In terms of my overall thoughts for the GoXLR, I love this product. I think it's really, really good, and I actually was quite surprised when I got my hands on it. To be honest, when this thing was first announced, I was a little bit skeptical off the start. Naturally, when things are catered towards streamers and gamers, I'm usually a little bit skeptical at those statements. Usually they end up cheapening on the product to make it look a little bit flashier with a bit more bells and whistles. But TC Helicon did a great job of not only bringing the bells and whistles with the product, but actually backing up with really, really solid audio equipment. And this product is great for people who are sort of newer to streaming, but maybe want to take their audio setup to the next level and, you know, are really committing to this hobby, or wanting, you know, or maybe it's for professionals who have been doing it for a while and want something that's a little bit less, you know, hassle than some other larger mixers out there. As easy and as accessible as this thing is, I don't think it's for everybody. If you're extremely new to streaming, this is obviously not a product I would recommend. I would definitely start off small. It is still $400 US, and it's a lot more if you're like me and you're a Canadian. But it is one of those things where the price reflects the product. It's a really, really high quality product with a lot of cool features, but if you're not going to be using those features, you might actually want to check out the GoXLR Mini. They do have, I believe, pre-orders currently going on at this time of this recording, and by the time this video is up, they might actually have the GoXLR Mini out to actually buy. And the GoXLR Mini is just the left half of the GoXLR, the regular version. So you don't get the voice effect changer or the sampler, but you do get the really high quality audio, as well as you do get the basic necessity filters such as the EQ, compression, things of that nature, and the ability to route your audio hassle-free and seamlessly. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Of course, like and subscribe, all that fun YouTube jazz. You can check out more of our content at StreamerSquare.com, as well as you can check us out on Twitter at StreamerSquare, and of course our YouTube channel here. You can check out our plethora of videos and VODs and highlights from our talk shows that we have every single week at twitch.tv/StreamerSquare on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays now. You can find us just doing a bunch of different topics ranging from financial business around streaming to just the latest streaming and gaming news to sort of just educational talk shows about, you know, more professional side of streaming, just a bunch of stuff, a lot of free content for you guys, and so hopefully you guys are enjoying those. If you want to find more of my content and what I do, I am at Kiratze on Twitter, as well as twitch.tv/Kiratze. Hopefully we can see you somewhere around the internet, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. Definitely stay tuned for more videos about the GoXLR and sort of more how-to guides and how to make the most out of it. And I will see you guys next time.